What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 80 of Stay Humble, Hustle Hard Live, where I interview the men and women building this country one business at a time so we can really dig down deep and find the why behind the business. You know, every person has a message and every message has a purpose. Here on Stay Humble, Hustle Hard Live, that purpose gets found. Big shout out to all of our sponsors of the day: Limitless Digital Media, Stern Marketing Academy, the Network of Influence by our guest today, Manny Lopez, Shift Advanced Life Design Magazine, BMC Accounting LLC by Brandon Cox, and our newest sponsor, DYE Official, the new t-shirt line. So y'all go over to dyeofficial.com and check that out. Y'all, if you are live, drop a hashtag live. If you're on the replay, drop a hashtag replay. And don't forget, smash that share button, because you never know who needs to hear this message today. Look, I'm excited to bring on our guest today. Man, this is going to be awesome. Look, today we got Mr. Manny Lopez, the legend himself, coming into the house today. Manny, thank you so much for coming to the show, brother. It's a blessing to have you here.
The pleasure is mine, Tucker. This is going to be fun. What do you guys have to? How do I see all this stuff? I haven't been on a Be Live before. This is pretty cool. I'm going to look at these live comments on the left side. I don't know how this works. This is fun.
Yeah, it is, man. Be Live is like a little TV show. All of the questions that I ask you will scroll across the bottom of the screen. It's pretty pro. I've gotten kind of good at it, and I'm happy with it. What's up, Richard Kaufman and Rachel? Thank you so much for joining us today, y'all. While me and Manny are getting started, y'all drop something down in the comments that you are grateful for today. Something that you are thankful to have in your world, because you know that's something that's very important to me, is waking up and realizing what Manny Lopez always says: you're too blessed to be stressed. All right, man, let's get in here and let's get this started. So before we talk about any business, before we talk about the technical stuff behind it, we want to know, who is Manny Lopez and where do you come from, brother?
Manny Lopez, where's where I come from? Well, if you don't know my story, because I'm an open book, right? But if this is the first time you've heard of me, a little bit about me: I was left in a car at 18 months, nothing but a diaper on. Me and my sister, we both ended up in foster care because of this situation. And you would call it orphan, right? We were deprived of our parents. I didn't even speak. I found out my birth mother is alive, 27 years old. I spoke to her for the very first time. And but for many years, I was lost. At 20 years old, I ended up homeless, ended up lost, confused, didn't really know where to turn, until a mentor found me. And this is what I teach today: is mentorship and entrepreneurship, and the concept of how to serve your way to success. Because going through the foster care system, spending many years of abuse, neglect, torture, malnutrition, you name it, and these problems are still happening today, where 2 out of 3 of these kids who age out of foster care, meaning they never get adopted, they're on their own at 18, they end up dead, homeless, or in jail. 2 out of 3 of these kids. So a big focus of mine right now is eradicating that statistic, and I've got a plan to do so.
Man, that is amazing. You know, and you're right. You know, I see. I didn't know anything about the kids in the foster system and what they had to go through really until I got to meet you. You know, my little brothers and them, they went through the foster system, but they always stayed hush hush about a lot of it. And I'm glad that when we got connected, you opened my eyes up to that, and that's why it's an honor for me to get to speak at your events. And we're gonna get to speaking more about ServeX here in a minute. But what I want to know is, like, how can we as a community, what can we do to help these kids in the foster system?
So there's a couple things. One is looking at these kids as human. That's like the biggest thing. I see these kids that come to me and they said, I'm getting treated like an animal. I'm getting treated like a second-class citizen. I'm not treated like part of a family. All they want is, they want love. They want to be loved. They want to love others, and they just keep being shown the exact opposite, to where it's affecting our society. I mean, think about this statistic: 70% of our prison population has come from foster care. 90% of our death row inmates have come from foster care. If we fix this system, we fix our entire nation.
Wow, man. Dang, man, those numbers are scary. They really are. And I mean,
I just posted a thing today. It was the kids in foster care are medicated at a rate 30 times more than kids that aren't foster care. It's just people don't understand the real problem that we are creating by not giving these kids what they need. They need the education and resources that it's possible. That's what changed for me. It didn't change until I was 21 years old, finding a mentor, saying, you know, this mentor is showing me the too blessed to be stressed, showing me capture leaders, you'll capture the market, serve your way to success, find a way to build value by serving others, give them what they need first, and you will receive. But you've got to be able to give. You got to be able to serve. You got to be able to understand that it's not just a take world, but you could give and get far more back in return if you just focus on the giving only, right? The returning will come from the people that are like, man, you're giving some massive value. I got to give back. I mean, look at my business, for example, right? I have a serve your way to success business model where there is 12 contacts of free serving that I give you up front before I would ever ask to invest in anything. Because I know 80% of my sales will come 5 to 12 contacts in. This is according to the National Sales Executive Association, not just myself, right? 2% of sales happen on the first contact, 3% by the second, 5% by the third. And that's where 90% of entrepreneurs stop, is by 3 contacts. They go, well, they didn't sign up. They're perfect customers. I mean, just imagine this, 100 people in one room, just one room, 100 people. Okay. And all 100 of these people are going to sign up for your program. Let's say you have a program for $1,000 and all 100 of them are your customers. They're a perfect client and they will sign up for your business. But here's what happens. If you're meeting them for the very first time, let's say these are all, hey, this is day one. You're just finding out about Tucker Bearden and his $1,000 program. Okay. You sit down with all of them, all 100 of them for 30 minutes. You sit down with them, map out a strategy and tell them, this is what I can do for you. You're a perfect client for me. Here's the results I've gotten before. 2 people would sign up after spending 50 hours sitting down for 30 minutes for 100 people. That's a whole week of work, right? That would net you 2 clients, $2,000. Some people are happy with that. Hey, that made $2,000 in 1 week. That's a good number for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then the next week, you sit down with all those 100 people again. Let's say you didn't even focus on any new people. You just said, let me go back to the other 98. I know those are my customers. Let me sit down with them again. And I want to show them because maybe they didn't understand. They didn't sign up. You sit down with them again. 3 more people signed up. Now you're like, man, I made $3,000 this week. I'm doing good. This is the greatest. And then next week, you do it again. You sit down with all 95 people left. And now 5 people signed up. You're like, man, I made $5,000. I'm on a roll. And now they think, success, I'm done. But here's the craziest thing. 80% of your sales will be 5 to 12 contacts in. Those other 90 that did not sign up yet, but they are your customers, you got to keep contacting them over and over again. Yep. You got to keep bringing them value. Now, you could spend all your effort, 3 weeks of time, sitting down with them, getting frustrated, they're not signing up, and then realizing, well, man, I didn't give enough value. So I actually created a 12-step formula to serving your way to success. And it's just giving value. What can you give more that's going to position you as an expert so they raise their hand instead of you forcing an offer down their throat?
So, and that's one of the aspects that I really loved about like everything that you've taught. Like for those of y'all who don't know, Manny is one of my mentors. He guides me. If y'all have ever seen some of my videos that have like 600 comments, it's because I followed this guy a little too closely and listened to what he said a little too much. And that's what happens whenever you listen to Manny. You get 600 comments that you can't reply to all of them to. And that's the problem that we have here. But anyway, brother, so you've got these steps and you're teaching them to everybody, but you've got a new way that you've went about teaching everybody all this in a way that I don't think anyone's ever done before. I could be wrong, but I've never seen it before. So could you take just a moment to tell us more about this program where Manifestation, your School of Business, brother?
Yes. So for many years, I kept seeing people share the wrong answers, right? And here's where you can easily see this kind of statistic really play out. Look at your social media feed, okay? 97% of the people in entrepreneurship are failing. They are not having success. Yet, go scroll through your feed. Everybody seems to have the answers. Everyone seems to be like, this is how you do it. This is how you become number one. They're calling themselves the number one, and they've had their very first event or very first program they launched, and they're like, the number one sales training program in the world. And I'm like, no, right? So what I would do for the last 7 years is I've been told since before I even started my business, Manny, if you capture the leaders, you'll capture the market. So I said, I'm only learning from the leaders then. And then my other mentor used to say, counsel versus opinion. You got to listen to the people that are getting the results that you want to get. And I'll give you a prime example. Look at all those books behind you, okay? Let me guess, if any one of those books behind you, I guarantee none of them listen to their friends and family to write their book. None of them.
Guarantee it.
Because if you listen to your friends and family, they're going to tell you every reason why it's not possible to launch a book, to write a book, to make money with a book, and all these different things. They're going to tell you it's not possible. But if you go to somebody like Jack Canfield, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, and you ask him, hey, I want to write a book. What do I do? How do I do it? They're going to tell you this is how to do it. This is the formula. This is the success. So I would just keep going to these events. I've invested close to $500,000 in this, just coming to events, sponsoring events, coaching programs, masterminds, anything I can get my hands on to be a sponge for knowledge, to learn from the people that are getting the results I want to get. Now, I can't tell you every dollar I spent was worth it. A lot of it was wasted in being able to find out that guy is a complete fraud. That was a waste of money. I didn't learn nothing. And there's a lot of times where I've invested, I'm like, dude, mind blown. I didn't even know that. Right. So that's what manifestation is. It's the collection of people that are getting results. It's my steps to success, my school of business, my how to monetize programs, my FB simplicity, network of influence, everything that I'm releasing that people pay for, that is information, is in manifestation. I used to, like, for example, the School of Business alone, just the Manifestation School of Business program. It was a 10 video series, 2.5 hours of content of resources and education. That program sold for over $1,000 consistently. And I put it in this program for free because here's what I realized. The people that are struggling, the people that need the answers, the people that don't have the knowledge of the things they don't even know they don't know, they need it the most and they can't afford it. And what do? They can't afford the $5,000 to $10,000 coaching program. They can't afford the $25,000 mastermind. So what do? They go invest in the guy on social media, giving it away for free that has no clue what he's talking about. And they follow that result and they get crappy results. And then they complain about business and then they fail and they give up and go work a 9 to 5. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen it happen to my own clients that didn't want to listen to the results that we can get and the structure that we flow for them. And now they're working a 9 to 5 job because they couldn't get the concept of serving your way to success. It's really a formula of building relationships, a formula built around sharing your secret sauce, a formula built around automating your message, serving and building content that is automated, on demand, and streamable.
That's awesome. I know that I'm part of your school of business, and I've been going through your videos, and it's cool because you get to earn points, and then those points are actually exchanged for something. It's kind of like playing a video game, except for it doesn't rot your brain out of your skull.
Here's the way I describe it. The simplest way, it's one sentence. Think of it like a Netflix for business that rewards you for binge watching our content. Right? Every time you watch a video, you get points. Every time you answer a question after the videos, you get points. Every time you make a comment or like someone else's comment. I mean, it's got a whole social media feed into it. So it's really exciting. We even got a leaderboard. Those points turn into rewards. Those rewards can be all kinds of stuff. Here's what I'm doing. So if you can't really see it here, but on my wall here, I got all these little influencers and celebrity friends that I work with. And what I do is I build these relationships. I invest in their programs. I show up. I help them get results. I collaborate with them. My focus is getting them to offer exclusive stuff in my program. And I'll give you an example. So one of my clients has events, major influencer. filled stadiums of people to come hear him speak. He puts content in my program. People watch that content, and then I tell my clients, say, hey, I want to put a bunch of content that you teach that you normally get paid for, but you give it away for free. And here's why. They're going to go through it. Once they complete it, then I want you to give them something else for free. I want you to have them come out to your event, have them get access to your group coaching, unlock some type of program that other people pay for. But what it does is going to create super fans. And my clients understand this concept. When they get the survey weighted, they're like, yeah, give it away for free. They know if you share your secret sauce for free, here's the statistic. I'm a very big statistic guy. I'm an analytical guy. I have stats running in my head all the time. This may not be exciting to you, but it's exciting to me. But 97% of the time you give it away for free, they take absolutely no action without you. They don't go hire somebody else that's cheaper than you. They don't go try to do it themselves. Here's what they do. They literally just see you as the expert, and when they're ready to take action in that space, you are the first one they're going to think of. They're going to go to you for the answers. They're going to go to you for the resources, you for the education, for the how-to, the services, the products. You got to understand this concept. Most people are chasing that 2%, 3%, 5%, and they're making money with it, right? Look at the numbers. If you have 100 people in a room and you have $1,000 product and you sit down with each of them and it's the first time they've ever heard of you, you're making a couple $1,000. Hey, that's good for some people. Some people for 3 weeks, 10 grand is great, right? Yeah. But if you're understanding the real growth of business, you would never have to sell. I don't have to sell anything. I can give away my secret sauce for free and people are going to respond to it. And then what happens is if I showed you my inbox right now, let me actually show you this real quick, okay? This is just
512 unread messages.
Well, just my text messages, let me show you this. That's 356 messages right there. That's just text messages. That's not my Facebook Messenger, where I did one post the other day, had 300 comments on it. And let me just show you from yesterday to today. So I'm going to start from Monday. It wasn't too bad. So from Monday, these are all the different conversations of people that were interested in collaborating in some way or fashion on some type of project. So I'm working, and that's the hard thing about it. It's like, how can you manage this type of amount of contacts without going crazy, right? You have to be automated. You have to have ways that you can teach for free, because when they get into this part, it's not, hey, Manny, what do you do? No, it's, hey, Manny, I just finished watching your live here and your video here and your how-to there and 3 videos in manifestation. And I got X amount of points and badges. And I want fill in the blank, or I need help with fill in the blank. They know what I do. They know what I'm an expert on. And now they're contacting me because they raised their hand. They need help. That's the big difference of how I teach how to be successful. Instead of you blowing up everyone's inbox and be like, hey, let me tell you how cool I am. Here's my speaker video and go to my website and here's my ebook. No, let them ask for your ebook. Let them chase you for your business instead of you having to chase them. That's just my thing.
And you know, that's something that I'm so thankful that you do step out of your way to teach people, because like in the beginning, obviously when me and you first met at the very first event that I ever spoke at. And I remember hearing what you're listening to your story and listening to the way you was talking about it, talking about serving people. And it made me think a lot about that TED talk by Simon Sinek that said, start with why. And, you know, and then it comes back to Zig Ziglar. Got here and here. It says you can have anything in this world that you want if you can help enough other people get what they want. Yeah. Exactly. So, and what I don't understand is how people don't understand this. Like,
here's why. This was a big mind blown for me. Okay. You see this all the time. There's people that are selling their way to success because they read Think and Grow Rich, or they read a book, or they watched some seminar, and this is the formula that works. It's get and make a video. You put that video on a landing page. You drive Facebook ads to that landing page that leads into your webinar, that you upsell them to your event for $297, and the formula that converts sales at a very small amount, 2%, 3%. And they are banking on that. On top of that, they can't serve their way to success because they don't know. They don't know what they are trying to actually teach, right? I'm an example, right? There's this guy I had on my stage before, a great speaker. The guy's super dynamic, but he just doesn't. He's got a great presence, but nothing behind the scenes that can actually help people. They had him on an interview, and they were asking him questions like, "Okay, so what do you do with your clients? How do you help them?" And he's like, "The most you can come up with is I have them write down their goals." And I'm like, "Come on, really? I mean, that's the basics of it. You got to teach something that's unique. How are you separating yourself? If you're just a copy paste from everybody that's behind you in those books right there, where are you bringing anybody value? They can go read that book for $10 and get all the same knowledge that you've got already, right? You got to have something of value that you're teaching on. And I come up with a concept, I implement the concept, I get results with the concept, and then I implement it with my clients with the concept on kind of a beta test type of fashion. Then I get results there. Then I bring it to the marketplace, right? I'm not bringing to the marketplace a concept that's the way I monetize and that's the only way I survive. It's like I have people at my events, they can't get on my stage unless they're selling something. I'm like, why? Why do you have to sell to actually make money? Why can't you create a program where you can sell? Like, here's an example, my Cervex event. I used to have a structure where we sell. We'd have people that complain because people weren't buying, right? Because when I first started Cervex 2017, my model was I want just to teach serve your way to success, no selling, no nothing. We did a couple of events, and then people will complain. They're like, Manny, why all these amazing speakers and none of them gave us an opportunity to buy anything? What's going on, right? And I was like, what do you mean? I don't want you to buy anything. I want you to just learn and collaborate. I'm like, oh yeah, but da 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 da. So I added in, I try to kind of a little mix it where we're like, we're going to serve like 95% of the speakers cannot sell nothing. And we're just going to let 2 speakers that are really good. I've invested in these programs. We'll let them sell. Everybody else just serve. And then I would notice the structure I would position for my clients to serve where they are brand new speakers. They're not well known yet. And they're just saying, Manny, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I say, all right, this is go on stage. This is how you do it. You want to serve, you want to give value. You want to just give away something for free and then follow up with the ones that raise their hand, that say they're really interested and they need your help. Then those people you do business with. Don't force a special offer because it's, $25,000 if you were to buy it separately, but today it's $2,000. It's like, no, we get that. So then I saw the results. My clients that are not even known, first time they've ever been on stage, are getting more business than my most well-known speakers that are trying to sell. And I'm like, interesting concept. So I just took it entirely off. I said, this is the format we are going to change the industry with. People are going to generate massive amount of business and opportunities without having to sell. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And it's working. And it's worked very well for the clients that are doing it. And you're going to see at a Cervex event how we're doing it now. It's really just tied into data and serving. If you can get the right data to reach them, which is their cell phone number, it's the number one thing you want to get whenever you're networking, collaborating, speaking on stages, doing live streams. I want your cell phone number more than anything else. I don't want your email address. I could care less about your LinkedIn profile or your YouTube channel. I want your cell phone number because I know if I text you, you are reading it. 98% open rate in 5 minutes. Nothing else in the market comes close, right? It just blows everything else out the water.
Unless you're getting 357 text messages a day, like you.
Yeah, then that could be a little bit of a problem. But then that's what I organize, right? That's my personal cell phone. And a lot of those I don't have to respond to in a sense. But for business inquiries, we have a process, and you got to have processes. I have a formula that I teach my clients called the BRASC formula, BRASC. And that's blueprint, relationships, automation, serving, and content. Right? You follow these 5 steps, you will have success in your business. It's not a get rich quick scheme, right? It's not like, oh, I served. Why didn't I make $1 million last month? No, it's not that concept. It's building the right relationships. And I'll give you one example. Tai Lopez. Y'all know who Tai Lopez is, right? Guy with the glasses, Lamborghinis, here in my garage with my Lamborghinis, right? We all know that guy. So he is very influential with entrepreneurs. The guy spends millions of dollars a month promoting his business online. So I said, and my mentor used to always tell me, capture the leaders, you'll capture the market. And I said, well, I need to reach more entrepreneurs with this app business I have. And I said, all right, and I found out that Ty Lopez needed an app developer to teach a course that he was promoting. I collaborated on an opportunity with him, and now he has completely automated my business. I don't promote apps whatsoever. I don't even take on any more app clients, because every week since 2 years ago when I did that recording for Ty, I'm still getting opportunities, still getting prospects, still getting leads, still getting clients, because of serving in one capacity to somebody who is massively influential in the market I want to reach. I don't have to go and become the Ty Lopez in my industry. I just work with Ty Lopez and let him promote me. Keeps it simple.
Wow. So how long ago did you say you did that video with him?
That was almost 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So y'all, man, those y'all who are listening, if y'all don't do it, y'all do me a favor, drop #serve down in the comments, man. Because look, that's the key. That really is the key to success on social media, the key to success in business, and the key to the one thing that you need in some way, shape, form, or fashion to succeed, and that is influence. Because so basically what he's saying is get off your high horse. And I'm not trying to get religious on you, but what did Jesus do? He washed the people's feet. He got down and he said, look, I'll serve you. And in turn, in the future, through the law of reciprocity, you will serve me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So that's the key. And that's what y'all got to get into your head. And, Manny, I had so many different questions for you, but we are coming close to the end, and I don't want to hold you on here all day. So I do have 2 questions left for you, and then I will let you go, bud.
All right.
So, first of all, I am a big reader. I love books. So tell us, what is your personal favorite book and why?
All right. So I have to take the Bible off that list, because obviously, that's just a given. The Bible would be my number one, just because everything that I've read in every book about motivation or business success, funniest thing is you will find a scripture verse that talks about that in the Bible already. So they're all getting their influence from it. So just go to the source. That would be number one. But business-wise, if you're looking at something outside of that, you're like, hey, I've read the Bible book to book, or maybe that's not your religious kind of thing, whatever, what have you. My next favorite would be 3 Feet from Gold. So one business book that I did not put down. I'm walking around the mall with the family, pushing my kid in a stroller, reading the book, running into stuff. I could not put that book down for 2 days. It was just every chance I get, I'm sitting there reading it. I was glued to it, and I finished it book cover to cover, probably the fastest book I read. Because usually it takes me at least a month to read a book, because I don't have the time. I could spend 30 minutes reading a book, and then I got to jump to 15 other projects that I got to get done. So that, and the reason why is that it's a very clear understanding of a Think and Grow Rich business model, because it is the follow-up to Think and Grow Rich, which is the godfather of business books, right? So that, I think, would be my personal favorite, because it's like a modern version of that one. And it's from a guy I personally know, and a lady I personally know, both clients of mine, Sharon Lecter and Greg Reed. So it's maybe that sense where I get to hang out with the author sometimes. That always helps in boosting the favoritism, right?
Yeah.
Those are my 2 favorite: the Bible and 3 Feet from Gold.
I'd have to agree. Obviously the Bible, that's always a given, but that 3 Feet from Gold was very well crafted. They kept your attention, and it seems like every time you got the wisdom that they were trying to bring to the table, they dropped another wisdom bomb on you, and you're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So it was truly, that book really was amazing. So, brother, this is my final question for you, and I'm gonna let you go. This is my favorite one to ask anybody, and being that you're not only my mentor but my friend, I look forward to what you're gonna say about this, and that is, if you only had 5 minutes to live, and the entire world could hear you speak, what would be your message to the world?
I would share this story, and it's to prove that God is real. January 27th, just 2 days ago and 2 years ago, 2017, I was at a fork in the road in my business. And I had created some success, right? I'd already been working with Les Brown by that time, been named one of the best by Facebook. And it was a situation, though, where I had put all my eggs in one basket, and it backfired miserably. And I had to start all over. And it would put me at a risk of the one thing I promised my wife we would never be at risk of, and that would be at the risk of being homeless again. And it was a big struggle for me to figure out what I was going to do. And I was looking to my wife to really give me some guidance, right? I was kind of dropping some hints, but she wasn't saying anything, right? We're laying on the bed. I'm looking up at the ceiling, and she is, she's just quiet, right? Like, hey, woman, give me some help here, right? And I'm going about my day. I try to go to sleep. About midnight, my dog starts barking. So I'm like, really, man, it's January, it's cold, I'm tired, but I got to take my dog out. He keeps barking, right? I go take him out. He starts walking, and for some reason, it's really quiet in my neighborhood at that time. And I live on a busy street. There's a 24-hour laundromat across the street then. There's ambulances always coming through because there's a hospital on one side and a retirement home on the other. There's a fire state. I mean, it's just chaos all the time. For some reason, that night, it was very quiet. And I start getting this voice in the back of my head, start asking me questions and telling me things. And I'm like, what is going on? And this voice tells me to put the dog away and keep walking. I first ignored it. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. I ain't going to put this dog away and keep walking out in this cold. You're crazy. And then right when I'm about to walk inside, the voice says it again, put the dog away and keep walking. And I'm curious, right? It got my attention. So I put the dog away. I start walking around. I'm like, all right, let's do this. What's going on? All right. And it starts asking all these questions like, why are you like, basically tell me, why is this such a hard decision? Like, what is this? Why are you, it should be clear as day what you have to do. And I asked a question that completely changed my life. It was, what is my purpose then? I'm not supposed to spend the rest of my life selling apps to businesses. What is my purpose? And as clear as day, this voice tells me, help the orphans. You have no fear. And it floored me. I mean, it was more of, I got kind of defensive. I was like, well, I am helping orphans. I'm sponsoring events and I'm right? And it was just like this feeling of you aren't doing anything. You are doing a drop in the bucket of what is possible for what you're capable of. You know, you have a purpose that's going to be far bigger than where you're at right now, and you need to do something, right? And this is where it kind of changed. And I go to sleep. I have this crazy dream about this mountain being on fire and me running up this mountain, and it was just complete chaos. And then I wake up, and this flood of knowledge just pours in, who I was talking to, what I need to do, what steps are next, the format I'm going to be doing this in. Everything just flashed right in front of me. And I woke up my wife and I start shaking her. I'm like, babe, you won't believe what just happened. And for years I've told her, God doesn't pay attention to me. God doesn't listen to me. If he does anything, he delegates it. I've always said this. And I tell her I've had a conversation with God. And she starts wiping her eyes and she's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And I go, well, I explained the situation, what happened, what he told me. And she starts crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? This is like an amazing moment. She's like, well, yesterday when you were laying on the bed, you were looking up at the ceiling, I was praying. I was praying that God would reveal himself to you and he would tell you exactly what you needed to do. And he did. He did that. And it was so crazy what has happened since then. I met Ty Lopez shortly after that. He automated all my apps business, so I ain't got to worry about that no more. I became a #1 best-selling author. I launched ServeX. I launched From Orphan to CEO. I've launched Manifestation. It seems everything that I decide to go, let's go, it goes, and it goes far. I've sold out every single ServeX event that we've had. From Orphan to CEO, we've already funded over 1,000 scholarships with zero advertising. Just talking to the people that I have on this phone right here in my network saying, look, man, I've got an idea. I want you to help me. Let's go. And we've been able to fund over almost close to 2,000 scholarships right now. and we are just getting started. We just almost wrapped up season 1 of our TV show. We just got to finalize a couple of days in studio, and we're done. And we're going to be talking to Netflix, which is literally the idea I had. So I'm like, all right, these kids, from orphan to CEO, this concept I had to take these kids from being in foster care to not being in foster care, to taking them from being lost to being found, from being hopeless to being full of hope. How do you do that? What do you do? And I'm like, well, do what I did, right? I got mentorship and entrepreneurship. Somebody found me, said, Manny, it is possible. You can build your own dream. You don't have to build somebody else's dream. You can literally find a way to do something you love, turn that into a business, and serve the world and solve a problem. And that's what I created. I'm like, well, just create that. Why isn't that created? Why isn't there a school of business called Manifestation that these kids can go to and just learn on demand from their cell phone? Why isn't there a TV show talking about kids going from orphan to CEO? Why isn't there events teaching about how to serve your way to success? So I do it. And that's the message I want to leave, is that realizing you have a purpose. You were made for a purpose and on purpose, just like Les Brown says. And just because you have struggles, you have hardships, you're living in chaos right now, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, realize I was homeless twice. I've had not only empty bank accounts, negative bank accounts. I've woken up to days where my accounts were negative thousands of dollars, and I'm like, what the heck? I've had to come up from absolutely nothing, grew up poor, on welfare. I had no opportunity, I had no success around me to point me in the right direction. I had one person that changed my life because they told me, Manny, it's possible. Manny, follow your dreams. Manny, stop building someone else's dream. So I've taken all of my best stuff that I've learned and I just put it on demand. And I think if you can realize that your life was made for a reason, you have been through what you have been through for a reason, right? Your life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And once you realize and understand that, that's when you'll start serving the world, because then your life becomes purpose and not just a crutch or chaos.
Wow, man, we get all kinds of answers on here, and I'm always floored by what people say. But above all, brother, I'm just thankful that you've done what you've done. I'm glad that you put the dog up that day and had that conversation, and we were able to come together, because so many lives have been changed because of the things that you've done. I mean, you've saved. You said, what, you sponsored over 1,000 orphans. I mean, that right there is mind-boggling in itself. That's 1,000 people in this world that potentially were either going to end up homeless, dead, or in prison. And what people don't understand about helping these people is you're not just changing 1,000 lives. There's something else connected to that called generational change. And that's what you're creating. So you help one person, they build a business, and they end up going out and becoming 10 more Manny Lopez's, and then 10 more and 10 more. And it's like
they're not Manny Lopez's, they're manifestors.
Yeah, manifestors. Well, that's actually scrolling across the bottom of the screen as we speak, manifestation.com. It is right, isn't it? www.manifestation.com.
Yes, that will go to our School of Business. You can sign up for free. All I need from there is your name, email, and phone number. From there, there's no credit card needed. There's no upgrades that you're going to have. It's literally what you see is what you get, all access, all on demand, and all free. So my focus is just to give you the answers, so you don't have to go spend money on people that aren't going to give you the answers anyway. They're going to give you a piece of the pie and tell you, oh, you got to buy the rest of it. I'm like, no, just get the dang answers. It's right there.
Well, brother,
give them the answers. They're going to see you as the expert anyway. So,
before we go, I wanted to mention to you, you said something about Netflix earlier. I saw a post not too long ago that made me think about the School of Business. It said Netflix is cheap, but watching it is expensive. Well, School of Business is free, but not watching it is expensive.
Good analogy right there.
So anyway, brother, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It has been absolutely a blessing to have you on here, man. Do you have any final calls to action for everybody today?
Serve your way to success, and always remember, you're too blessed to be stressed. Man, I should be a rapper.
Yeah. You should be. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me for episode number 80 of Stay Humble, Hustle Hard Live. We're almost up there to episode 100. We're keeping it going, keeping it rocking. Y'all, man, if y'all go over to www.manifestation.com. Sign up. It's completely free. It will take your life. It will take your business to an entirely different level. Y'all, unfortunately, Cervex is sold out for this event.
Sold out.
So I can't get y'all.
Our 4-4. We're still our 4-4 event. We do these every 2 months. So we'll start promoting our 4-4 event come Monday. Okay. But yeah, so if anybody watching this on the replay, if you go to servexevent.com, you'll see all of the information about all of our upcoming events. And we're doing these themed now, right? It's not just ServeX. It's like this one is ServeX, the Awakening. Then the 4-4 is ServeX, the Teachers. And then 6-6 is ServeX, the Debate. This one, I'm really excited for the debate. I'm literally bringing people that are like, email marketing's better. No, social media marketing's better. All right, well, let's debate. We're going to find out. We're going to see. Let's see who's got the social proof to back up their talk. So I'm excited for that one. That'll be fun.
That sounds awesome, man. I'm like the themes that's going to put a whole nother dynamic to it. That's absolutely
a changer for sure, man. Wait till you see Action Takers Networking, our 2.0 version. This is going to be really fun. So you guys are all going to see it all on Facebook. So pay attention. It's going to be fun. I know Tucker's going to have some content putting out.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be going live. So, everybody, man, y'all, again, thank you so much for joining. Y'all be looking out for these events that Manny puts on. I mean, it's not even that expensive to get there. If you connect with the right people, you can get free tickets to get to the event. And I'm telling you, they are truly life-changing. So before we hop off here, I do want to give a final shout-out to all of our sponsors. We got Limitless Digital Media by Curtis Higgins, Stern Marketing Academy by Daryl Stern, Network of Influence by the man himself, Manny Lopez, Shift Advanced Life Design Magazine by the Warrior Strategist, Robert Garcia, BMC Accounting LLC by Brandon Cox, and our newest sponsor, the Do You Even t-shirt line. So don't forget to go over to dyeofficial.com and check those out. Y'all, it has been a blessing to have you on here. And please remember, above all, if you can be the spark that lights the way through the darkness for a single person a day, it doesn't matter if your name isn't remembered throughout history. Your entire life will be worthwhile.
Nice.